2019, we have just been able to share 2 creations here, so it shouldn't take long. But
as long as it takes.
Exactly. So we've been working. So to do that, it's good to do a little refresh. And so quite a few years ago, Opus 6, 2006, Harry Winston had asked us to create an image of double tourbillon 30 degrees, kind of floating in space. That was the sort of initial brief. So I don't know if tu as l'image
de laquelle tu dis?
Le Opus 6. No? Mais sinon, c'est bon.
All of you guys have it in mind, Opus 6, right?
We do. Yeah. And that was with Hamidjani, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Hamid!
Yeah.
Glued out. Some great indications. Blue's hair, what's this called?
So we should be able to find one here, which looks something like this.
May I?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's there it is. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So there. So Opus 6. The reason is because when you see the art piece historic edition, you might think it looks a bit familiar. So at least you don't have to trawl around the internet trying to think what it looked like. But it's not the same at all, because the tourbillon position is different. Everything is totally different. But there's that initial sort of idea. And the reason for talking about that Opus 6 briefly is that that was something where we were, with Robert, we were working on Invention Piece 1, which we then launched in 2007. So Invention Piece 1 for us was a piece of pure watchmaking, mechanical architecture, 3-dimensional, a lot of relief, a lot of layers, but the mechanism itself was the center stage, the focus, and the time display was secondary, accessory. What was interesting there was that collectors came back to us and said, yeah, but this is more art. And we were at the beginning like watchmakers, said, well, no, surely this contemporary art is a bit sort of ole. Watchmaking is precision, it's rigor, it's discipline and performance, And they said, no, but there's a creative, you can see a creative process going on there. And so we started to meet some contemporary artists, which led us to create the Art Piece 1, which was a collaboration where we invited a micro art sculptor, Willard Wigan. So we created this unique, very special art installation here with the micro sculpture. And then we had our watchmaker's art double tourbillon 30 degrees, but easy to watch. So this was to play with the art critics' notion of if it's functional, it's not art. So there's no dial, there's no hands, no time display as such. So we played with that notion, and we managed to create 5 individual unique Art Piece 1. And then the whole creative process was a little bit complex, to cut a long story short. So then we decided to do Art Piece 2 Edition 1, our own creative exercise, where we had a sapphire tablet which we could nano engrave with a sketch. Here it's a double tourbillon 30 degree sketch, but we could also personalize that. So we created 7 Art Piece 2 Edition 1, and then in that idea, Art Piece 2 Edition 2, where we have this notion of like the sandglass of time running away. So in total, 18 art pieces were created in the last 8-9 years, I guess. And so with Robert, we wanted to revisit that as a tribute to create the edition, the historic edition of the art piece itself. So here we have it, double tourbillon 30 degrees. We have a running seconds on one level, power reserve with that sort of reminder of the sandglass idea, down towards 4. Then we have an interesting domed cupola with has a red triangle for the hours running permanently, but then the that signature shutter display which you can play with on the crown, which enables you to hide the minute indication. Thank you very much. Please. So the art piece.
Can I operate it?
Yeah, of course. Please do. So the historic edition art piece is going to be 11 in platinum, and we're going to number them consecutively. This is why our historic edition is a way of reinforcing and certifying the exclusive nature of the pieces before. So those first 18 art pieces are now certified. Really it's clear how many we built, so from 19 up to 51 inclusive will be the 33 example in total. This in platinum, the first 11.
The engraving, the
Yeah.
wording engraving there, it's always very signature. How is that made in the smallest part? It's so tiny.
Yeah, it's a laser process in
And
the
then
beginning,
refine-
but then we have to fine tune it by hand. Yeah, you have to
finish
do
it.
it by hand because the laser process actually sublimates the gold, so it takes it to vapor, but you get little particles and stuff. So you really need to.
Needs to be
you have to
clean
clean
and
it up. Yeah,
sharpened and,
yeah.
Stephen, why is there a relevance for 11 pieces or not? I know you don't.
Yes, I always fear everybody's going to ask the question. It's Robert Greubel, Stephen Forsey.
Okay.
But in binary numbering, there are 1 is 3.
Okay.
So it's Robert, Stephen, and the third is our team.
Okay. I think I was before. And I remember
It's kind of it's kind of one of those quirky things. But it's also in terms of building 11, we're not going to be able to build 11 this year. So so it's also in terms of quantity, numbering, etc.
Yeah.
It's a manageable number.
Yeah.
So this is interesting creation here, and then to date now we have 24 calibers we've developed in 15 years, which sounds like a ludicrous idea when you think that an average. Some of the calibers there are less, and some are more, but an average of around 60 pieces per caliber. So it brings us to a grand total of around 1,440 Greubel Forsey, which exist in the world to date, as we get close to our 15th anniversary this springtime. And so in there we built our very first time our own balance wheel, which of course we don't have one here. The signature one, our own balance wheel, designed, imagined and made in-house, large balance wheel, 18,000 beats, limited edition of the caliber. That was the first time to get some experience. But the reason for creating those different calibers is each different caliber enables us to answer a question to add to our know-how. So the second time we used our balance wheel, we stepped up the frequency to 21,600. We had the asymmetric case and 72-hour power reserve with a hack feature as well. So quite a nice combination there. So this was 2017, if I remember correctly, or 2018. 2018. Yeah. And then, so today, we said, well, we need to continue in this vein. So we've wanted to create another caliber with our own balance wheel, and yet, so we decided we wanted to cross the boundary of 40 millimeters in the other direction. Normally, you go bigger. So 39.6 millimeter,
So nice.
72-hour power reserve, and large balance wheels.
So it shares the same DNA as the signature one?
No,
Completely different?
no, completely different. Yeah.
Right.
The only thing is the balance wheel form, but the frequency is different. The architecture, the whole movement, the whole construction, everything else is different. Nothing the same at all. Signature one was 18,000 beat, 54 hour. This is 72 hour, 21,600. So, but what's interesting is, so we got a compact Greubel Forsey, but with all of the different levels, all of the different relief. So really being able to bring it in there and reinforce.
Incredible.
Thank
That
you.
mirror finish.
Yeah.
plate
So we got
and
our black polish, gold backdrop to the balance wheel, but also the flanks inside of the bridges, reinforcing the elements of relief, different levels.
So what's the
So
material?
there's 4 levels in there. White gold.
Okay.
Stunning.
And again, we're not looking to increase volume, so we're not aiming to increase volume. So it's still going to be a very limited, very restricted edition. 33 examples in white gold,
Okay.
but that could take us 4 years perhaps to
33
complete.
examples in white gold. And are
Yeah.
you going to do a sort of release it like a signature one in different variations?
Well, the signature one, we announced the run of the caliber, so there we actually framed the number of examples totally, and we explained which version. Here, this is a caliber which I think has a lot of appeal and good potential over time. So maybe there could be some other version in the future, but for the moment, I think the white gold is going to be quite
That's an
quite
amazing
interesting.
watch.
Huh?
What's the price?
This one is 195
Swiss.
thousand Swiss without tax.
And you've got the engraving
Yeah.
at the back.
Exactly, with so much in the front with the mirror polish and everything, we didn't want to go transparent in that way.
Size and everything. There's a group.
But dimensions, weight, feel, proportions,
The
it's
proportion is fantastic.
yeah,
And the feedback to them has been really positive for the smaller size.
yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
this actually.
Yeah.
The signature one was what, about 41,
41,
right?
foot, yeah. We can pull one in just to see. This is quite
Can we
interesting.
do a
Yeah?
comparison?
Take care of it.
Yeah,
It's
of
quite-
course.
quite
of
nice,
course, yeah,
actually.
yeah. So then we do have, we wanted to create a diamond set piece because we've had some requests for diamond set pieces, and but we didn't want a diamond set just as it is because the bezel is quite slim and quite sloping, so we felt it wouldn't be rich enough a statement. So the diamond set piece has gained a little bit in diameter, completely new case, and reimagined in terms of creation, the textures. And you know, when we get it, it's interesting to compare the two. Quite a different
The mirror
character.
finish is amazing.
Yeah, you also have then on the flanks,
On the
on the
flanks, you
bridges,
see that, yeah.
and on the interior. So if you look down towards 6, on this side, you
Yep.
can see the reflection of the balance wheel in there.
You're gonna take one out of platinum at some point.
Sorry,
Do you think you'll release one in platinum at some point?
It's
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Hard to say.
Very nice.
And this is
Thank
how
you.
long has it taken you guys to finish this one?
Well, this one, well, it's not so bad. I mean, it's maybe 3 years. I suppose we're working on it.
Signature one was out in about 3.
No, the
It's,
signature one was, it took us 6 years to get that first exercise, yeah. So that's the steel.
That's the steel, right? I'll put that next to it. Considerably, size-wise, quite a big difference.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Visually, you can see it.
What's interesting is, of course, then the balance wheel, same diameter at the basis, 4.6, but the proportions, of course,
Yeah.
it jumps up in terms of proportion quite significantly.
With the added power reserve indicator.
Of course, yeah.
It's quite a lot to fit into that case.
Yes, it's quite busy, and when you think that there's actually quite a lot of space in there, actually there's quite a lot of air, because we start at the top level, hour minute display, drop down a level to the power reserve, and then another level to the small seconds, and then finally under the escapement, but each element being quite open.
It's nice. It keeps the DNA of your older model. This one,
Yeah.
more than the.
Well, the
signature one was very.
The signature one is meant to be outside the box.
Yeah.
Because it's Greubel Forsey, but it's co-signed with the watchmaker.
Yeah.
So it's his inspiration, and there the tribute was to those classic 20th century calibers. You know, there were some beautiful ones. It's a 30mm Omega, which is a really classic. There's a Patek, a 10 120 or 12 120, I think. You know, there are some really beautiful hand-wound movements from that period, 30s to 60s, which were really classics. And there was sort of, for us as watchmakers with Robert, they're kind of the essence of that 20th century Swiss expertise. Finishing levels were beautiful, you know, real.
So 33 pieces of this
Yes.
over a period of
Over a period of time. Because the thing is, you see, the signature we launched in 2016, 66 of the caliber, but we haven't delivered them all yet.
No.
So we still got the last ones to build, because we still, you know, we can only make something like maybe 15 each year. So it's an interesting exercise, but it's hard. Yeah, please. So this is the steel, and there is a little detail on there for those of you who like those details. That number 11 again. The 11th minute has a little red part on it when it's a steel case.
Oh, when it's
So when we make steel cases, the number 11 minute has a little red spot. It's kind of a
Just
little-
on the steel case.
Yeah. No, what's nice is also the feel of the winding. So here it's inspired from the Vallée de Joux. It's you know, because in our other pieces we use quite a conventional click system, but this one, and if you turn it over,
What's
so you can,
the,
and then you wind, so you can actually see the click mechanism. Yeah. And these gears, all this winding mechanism and the
What's the price
signature one
difference
was made
between
by
the signature
Didier.
one in steel and the.
He made them piece by piece.
you know?
Traditional watchmaking.
That's
Lloyd,
195.
Yes.
It's an amazing piece, but that one takes it to the next level. in terms of
Same guy,
design.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
But,
Sorry?
The signature one.
155.
The signature one is
Yeah.
150. In steel.
170 in gold.
Yeah.
190 in platinum.
Okay, and this is 195 in gold.
In gold. Yeah.
But I'm presuming this is more components.
Oh yeah.
Although it's in a smaller case.
190 components there and
200 and 150.
200. Yeah.
That's a lot of components
Yeah.
in a
Well, then you've
39.6 millimeter case.
Yeah, we've got power reserve, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
which is increased, and the power reserve display. So you know, it's got 2 barrels to be able to get that 21,672. Because that's the chronometric power reserve thing. Actually, in theory, the run time is like 90 hours, but we count those 72. Should have.
What's interesting also is the conception of the case itself, you know, with this dome sapphire that you see from the bow side, actually show also let the radial movement pop up from the bow side actually, as well also in terms of thickness and etc. You really get something which is very interesting. You notice that the opening of the timepiece is huge on itself. This is all those details that once again make it a bit different, right, from the signature, that they have a construction which is completely different. So that's all those, I would say, a lot of details, but finally that make really the difference and like this
The
creation
engraving
thing,
at the back,
very special.
is that specified? I mean, is that like
very unique.
customer specified, or is that something you do sort
No,
of generic?
this is our mission
That's-
statement.
that's your mission
if you like.
statement.
But I guess you know it's possible to personalize something. The challenge is to fit the text in. So we thought initially to do different languages, but you can't convey the same message. But it's true that when we have the plates on cases, then we've done sometimes a personalized motif or this sort of detail we can do.
That is stunning. Absolutely
Thank you.
stunning.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that is,
Yeah.
that is incredible.
That is an incredible watch.
Let's try to catch
The diamond set. Yeah.
The proportions are absolutely fantastic.
such easy. Look at this team. You open the door.
They're on point. It's definitely that. Okay.
Oh god. Oh, look at that. That's just like mirror finish all the way through. It's the kind of
So
watch
here
you
we-
can see from the moon.
Yeah. So here we didn't want to go for mirror finishes
Yeah,
in the
okay.
movement because we've gone for that frosted finish, white mother of pearl dials, you know. But with that, what's fantastic is the very, very almost horizontal setting. Again, because of that high dome sapphire, it gives us the possibility.
And
to bring
this
the
is
setting
also
down.
white gold.
Yeah, this is also white gold. So invisible set, baguette cut, IF quality, DE color only. About 10.3, 10.5 carats. And we put it on a molded rubber, which is quite fun. It's got a sort of satin texture on it, so it's quite a wacky combination actually. Yeah.
And the size of the case increased slightly?
Yeah, this is 41.4. It's 41.6, so it's similar to signature one. Actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
But
because
to
of the
give that
diamonds.
extra space.
Yeah.
Because also here the bezel is very sloped down.
Exactly.
where this-
Yeah, it's very slim because we wanted to
Yeah.
erase the bezel as much as possible.
Yeah, just so you're looking in rather than.
Mm-hmm.
This is stunning. This is really nice. Yeah, it's right.
The lights, but
Yeah, the lights.
this is better.
So much better.
Lifesaver?
He's got the force.
That's what they movie one.